What's up, guys? Tanner Kern here, coming to you live on the Sports 2.0 Network's YouTube channel. Just wanted to talk about the new rule changes that are being instituted in the Atlantic League. So, if you don't know about the Atlantic League, it's a partner league of Major League Baseball. So, by partner league, it means the MLB uses the Atlantic League to experiment for all their rule changes. So, this year, it was recently published that the Atlantic League is going to be doing two things. They're going to be instituting the double hook DH. And they're also going to be moving the pitching rubber back 1 foot. Now, the pitching rubber thing's a little self-explanatory, but we'll talk about the double hook DH. So I don't know why Major League Baseball does not just use the universal DH. It was a huge success last season. Now, MLB used it in the 60-game slate. If you didn't know, pitchers did not bat in the National League last year. I don't know why they just don't use that. It would be so much better than this double hook DH rule. I think the MLB is going to ultimately institute the universal DH next season, unless this double hook DH works, amazingly. I don't think it's gonna, but who knows? So the double hook DH is basically when the starting pitcher is not in the batting order. There's going to be a designated hitter for the starting pitcher. After the starting pitcher is pulled from the game, the relief pitcher is going to bat. So if the manager wants the relief pitcher to bat, they can do that. If the manager wants to put a pinch hitter in for the relief pitcher, they can do that as well. So this rule kind of combines the best of the American League and the best of the National League into one rule. I don't hate it. I just don't like it as much as the universal DH. Let's put the ball in play. Let's blast balls out of the lineup. Why are we signing a guy to be a DH and maybe get 1, 2, 3 at bats at most if a starting pitcher does not go the distance in a game? Why? If we're going to hire people, we're going to sign people, major league teams are going to sign a designated hitter and they're only going to get to bat 1 inning or make 1 at bat in the game. That's a problem. That's a problem. Ryan Braun. So say the Brewers signed Ryan Braun back because he left his retirement open. Say they sign him back to be the designated hitter and the MLB institutes this universal or this double hook DH rule. And Ryan Braun gets into the lineup and Corbin Burns is pitched. Let's say Corbin Burns is pitched, and he has a great day for 3 innings. And then the 4th inning, he falls apart. Ryan Braun only gets 2 at-bats. Then Ryan Braun has to leave the game. That's stupid. Let's just use a universal DH. Let's see home runs hit, and let's call it a day. So I don't think this rule is going to stand in the Atlantic League. It'll be interesting to see what happens to it, but overall, not the best rule, in my opinion. Go with the universal DH. Why are we making it complicated, Rob Manfred? I know you suck at your job, but why are we making it complicated? Let's hit balls out of the yard and let's call it a day. So that's the universal DH. And then the pitching rubber, they're going to move the pitching rubber back in the second half of the Atlantic League season. Again, these guys are not big leaguers. They're not minor leaguers. This is an independent league. It's a partner organization of Major League Baseball. So they're going to be moving the pitching rubber back 1 foot after the All-Star break in the Atlantic League. So 60 feet 6 inches to 61 feet 6 inches. Now, there's been some complaints about, pitchers' arms. How are they going to hold up? How's all that going to happen? It's not really going to affect the pitcher's arms because when you think about it, when a catcher sets up behind the plate, the standard deviation that MLB determined was 7 inches. So that's where most catchers stand, and some go behind that, some go in front of that when they're setting up from the plate. They found out some pitchers or some catchers set up as far as 3 feet behind the plate. So some pitchers are throwing 64 feet in some cases, or 63 feet, which, the foot's not going to make the difference. The reason they are moving the mound back is because they are fed up with batters not putting the ball in play. The three truths of baseball: walk, strikeout, home run. That happens, I think, 30-something% of the time now. So there is not a lot of balls being put in play, and MLB is worried about that. Pitcher's velocity has gone from 91 miles an hour in 2008 to 93.6 miles an hour in 2021 overall. Strikeout rate has gone from like 15% to 25%. So a quarter of batters are striking out every time they step up to the plate. That's an issue. That's an issue for the game. We want to see the ball put in play, but this rule, I don't think, is going to make a difference for MLB's ultimate goals. And MLB ultimate goal is to get kids involved in this game, get kids watching baseball, get people watching baseball again. Baseball viewership is down drastically. It's suffering right now. And the MLB is trying to figure out a way to get baseball back, get viewership back. And they think hear me out here. If Rob Manfred really believes this, I think he does. If Rob Manfred believes that he is going to move the pitching rubber back 1 foot and institute the double hook DH or the universal DH, let's say they go with the universal DH next year. If he thinks that that is going to make a little kid turn off the Disney Channel and turn on Major League Baseball, he's out of his mind. He is out of his mind if he thinks that moving the pitching rubber back 1 foot and, maybe putting a few more balls in play, maybe the strikeout rate drops down to 20%. If he really thinks that's going to be the case, there's an issue, because it's not. The MLB needs to look at what's going on right now outside the field. For example, suspending Nick Castellanos, however you say his name. Suspending Nick Castellanos, not suspending Yadi Molina, letting the Cardinals get off. If you're going to suspend Castellanos, which I'm not in favor of at all, you got to suspend someone on the Cardinals. You're going to uphold the suspension. I don't think any of them should be suspended, because that's what makes baseball fun. That is what makes baseball fun. When people get involved, when people fight, not saying fight, when there's emotion. When there is emotion in this game, people are intrigued. If there's no emotion, no one gives a shit. People watch baseball. People want to watch baseball because it's fun. Why is the NFL such a massively viewed sport? Okay, it's exciting that the pace of play is a little faster, but there's emotion. We're losing the emotion in this game, and people like Rob Manfred are trying to take the emotion out. Why are we worried about rules? Why are we worried about moving the pitching rubber back when it's going to, make the strikeout rate drop a few percentiles? Why are we worried about that? Why aren't we worried about the expanding the game through media, expanding the game digitally, expanding the game to let people watch? I mean, there's blackout restrictions all over the country. People can't even watch their hometown teams right now. That's more of an issue. That is more of an issue than these rule changes. Now, I know these are just in the Atlantic League. Things are going to change. Things might break. These might not even be instituted. They're just trying it out. Like in 2019 in the Atlantic League, they tested out a robotic strike zone and, the shift rules and all that. So these might not even get instituted. But here's the thing. Why are we looking at these? Why are we looking at rule changes? Rule changes are not important right now in this game. To expand viewership to the younger generation, we need to figure out a way to appeal to the younger generation. And doing that, it's rule changes, moving the rubber back 1 foot is not the way to do that. So there's my rant for the night. If you want to read my article on this, I just posted an article to baseballspotlight.com. Go check it out. I give my full rundown on there about the rule changes and about what I think, a little more in depth. So go check that out. This video is going to be on the YouTube Sports 2.0 Network YouTube channel. So go check that as well. Thanks for joining me. Make sure to join me tomorrow morning for MLB Daily Picks, where I'll be breaking down every matchup of the day. Right now we're 3 and 4 yesterday, 126 and 109 on the season. It's not great, but we're going to get back to there. We're going to get better. Today we're looking good right now, as long as this Dodgers game can hold. So join me tomorrow morning. Thanks for joining me tonight, and I'll talk to you guys soon.